This coming. Don't sit there and tell that lie. I didn't. God always send you a sign. Don't sit there and tell that lie. Tell that voice in the back of your head that was telling you to pay attention. That was God's way of trying to get you to pay attention. And I would listen to that voice. I would stop what I'm doing. I remember I was asleep. It was 4:30 in the morning. That voice said, "Get up." I said, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" Man walking the house. I said, "Where the hell you been?" He said, "Working late." He worked at the bank. I said, "You been at the bank till 4:30?" No, he said, "Yeah, we had a night audit. I had to be there all night long." I said, "That makes sense." I tried to go back to sleep. That voice wore me out. So I had to get up and ask some more questions. See, when something don't sit right with you, you're supposed to keep asking questions. And I'm so good, I would get to question number 387. 2 months later, jump back to question number 8 to see if I get the same answer I got back then. That's why I tell people, ain't no sense in you sitting there lying. Tell the truth. Because if you tell one lie, you got to tell 20 more to cover the one you told. That's why I tell folks, don't sit there and tell a lie. That just make you, when you lie to people, that make them doubt everything you ever say from that point on, or everything you ever said. You may as well just tell the truth, you know? And I look, if you asking a man a bunch of questions and he jumps stupid, what the hell you all up in my face for? You ain't got to be asking me all these questions. That's a dead giveaway, something going on. Men always get themselves away. Man coming out and ain't got no socks on, something going on. I've been out working all day, coming smelling like Irish Spring, something is going on. I'm gonna make somebody mad when I say this. You got the kind of man, he won't know where you're going, what time you're gonna get back, who you gonna be there with when you call me, when you get there, okay? Don't call me from the cell phone, call me from there so I can see the call ID. So you said you're gonna be where you said you at. How you going? You going to 285? You going to 85? You going to Peachtree? But you going to turn to the left? You going to make a right? You going to be in Piedmont? What time? Okay, it's 4:02 now. You think you're going to be on Piedmont by 4:06? Make sure y'all Piedmont by 4:07. It ain't because he love you that much. It's because he don't want to run into you while he out doing what the hell he got to do. And if you ever want to know if a man is cheating, ask him to give you one thing. If he gives it to you, he ain't cheating. Ask him for... Whew. I was getting ready to tell you, but I can't. I wanted to, but who I am is conflicting with this dress I got on. No. Medea strong, but she can't fight this player. I'm sorry. No, hell no. No, Tyler spoke up just then. Come on, bro. Come on. Too far. You're going too far. But see, cause I'm telling you, when we be cheating, we,
She got the same character.
We stay in character. When a man be cheating, you can catch them because they get themselves away. Men just, I don't understand. Men just always get themselves away just by doing dumb stuff. But a woman, them things is slick. Personally, I think women cheat more than men. Oh, they done got quiet now. And the reason they get away with it is because, you know, they never think, the men never think that they woman to cheat on them. But, that's a fool who think that.
Hey.
Never underestimate your opponent. Them things is slick. I know a woman that was married for 38 years. She was so good she had an affair for 42 and he didn't know it. He died thinking he was the only one. She said, well, he died now. Hell, ain't no sense in me telling him the truth. But I found out the way to tell if a woman cheats. If you want to know if a woman is cheating, it's really simple. You're the kind of man that don't do what you're supposed to do. You're always doing something wrong. And she walking around smiling.
Hello? Hello and welcome back to the J Talks, today's relationship show. All right, you got Jay here, and we got a guest sitting in for Lady K. None other, you know her, you've heard her so many times. Miss Debbie, how you doing, Miss Debbie?
Hi, Jay. How's everybody? Hey, good. Happy New Year, Clarksville. All the fans of the show. Good to be back on the show.
All right, and we got another guest. Y'all haven't heard from him for a long time. Here go Ricky Rick.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I miss you guys, and I hope we have a good time tonight.
Yes,
good to see you again, sister,
good
brother.
To see
Good
you,
persons. All right.
All right. Well, Lady K is out today, but we're going to have us a good time on this show.
Yeah.
All right. Today's topic that we're talking about, boy, it was so fun to listen to my dear. She set it off right, set the stage. All right. The topic today, busting up the lies and the games and relationships.
Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
All right. Now, y'all know, if y'all looking at this online, even if you're just listening to it, the call-in number is 931-220-7063. 931-220-7063. All right, we want y'all to call on in. We want to hear some of you. Your side of the games and the lies. You know, we might not know it all. We try to, but yeah, he was setting that up, boy.
Yes.
What you say? You start get to question number 60 or 57.
389. And then go back to question 8 to see if he answered it the same way. Yes.
All right.
That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Busting up the lies in the game.
In the games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of...
you know what? You know, I was thinking about, you know, we some of us may not know what a lie is. You know, because we make differences. You know, we put like, you know, little white lies and stuff like that. So what is a lie? What is a lie? What constitutes a lie?
What, people carry around Crayolas in the mouth?
Right.
They paint it while they speaking it.
Yeah.
Right. What's a lie? What constitutes a lie?
I guess they think they artists. I guess I don't know.
Well, I don't think I can think of a lie. What constitutes a lie? Anytime somebody tell you something, then you question them, they stutter.
Okay, Rick. Okay. Right.
You know, because they can't complete the lie.
Yes.
You know, it's But I think what constitutes a lie is, and I'm probably guilty of it when I was young. I used to always build myself up to be more than I am, and then once I got into the relationship,
Build yourself up. Building yourself up.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I was dressing, I thought you was, well, you got to see I.
Yeah. Okay. So a lie is a untruth. Dishonesty.
Right.
That is that. You know, we're gonna set the stages. That's what a lie is.
I mean,
untruth. Dishonesty. However you put it.
It's whatever. Not the way it is.
Right.
It really is.
So whether it's do it matter if the lie got a color on it? The little white lie, like a little white lie, make it any better than a big black lie?
I'm trying to I'm looking for that little purple lie.
Okay. You know what's the difference? I just told a little white lie. What's a little white lie?
Yeah.
I mean, do it make a difference? I mean. You know.
Well, they came along with the movies, and they started making these movies. If y'all can help me.
Okay.
Fiction. Now, fiction is something that's not true, right?
Okay.
So, I think we incorporate fiction into our lie too.
Okay.
So, well, you know, I didn't lie. Just fictional.
Okay.
You know, we watch a lot of that on TV. It's not true, but it's based off something.
Okay.
You know, it's fictional.
Okay. So we got the definition of the word lie. Okay. So now, what would be the definition of the word game? Wow. You know, you running game. You know, you gaming on somebody. What's the definition of that?
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I would say running the game on somebody is telling a female sweet nothings, blowing her head up, telling her she's fine, girl.
But what if she is fine?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Oh, you mean when she ain't fine?
Yeah. Well, she ain't fine. I was just dumb too. Girl, you got the apple on my heart, and you everything. And then she come around the corner the next day and see you looking at another woman. And she said, "I thought I was the apple of your eye." But you are.
Okay. So that's game. Right? That's game. Okay. Running that game.
But then I got to run another game to get out of getting caught in the game.
Okay. See, now we're going to talk about that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
So like playing football.
Okay.
When the team try to get a hold of your play, you got to switch it up.
Okay. You got to switch it up.
Audible.
Okay. Jay, what's game? What's game?
Oh, what's game? Okay. Here's game. All right. So when I got this little complex. I'm so happy Medea say, them things is so slick.
Yeah.
Them women. But it's not just men. All right. Even though we hear if boys is more men than women. Yeah. I think it's really 50-50.
Yeah,
it's just, we just got this different way of how we do it. Men just get caught more than women. All right, but
tell the truth.
Yeah,
that's true.
Tell the truth. So game.
But game.
Yeah.
Game is when you strategize and you done figured out this plan and you getting ready to work this strategic way against your opponent.
Right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, your opponent.
Your opponent.
Yeah, your opponent. Yeah.
I looked that word up, guys, before I got here. I looked it up in the dictionary. And Webster said, this is one of the definitions that I looked up, is shady schemes.
Wow. Shady schemes.
Shady schemes.
Just shady.
Shystering. Just shady.
The sun's out and you standing in the shade.
Yeah, just dirty dealing. Dirty dealing.
Can't get in the heat.
Dirty dealing. Shady stuff. All right. Just shady. Wrongdoing. Dealing.
And if it's shady, that means that if you think about shade, you can't see as well in the shade as you see in the sunlight.
Okay.
Shady.
Yeah.
Wait, who are you? Who are you? Step in the sunlight. What's your name again? Can you tell me your name was Victoria last week? I descriptive this week. You told me last week was Victoria.
Okay, come on now. It's good around you, y'all. It's gonna get good. We got a good topic.
I thought you said them eyelashes were natural. They look a little short today. Alexander O'Neal had a song called Fake. Anybody remember that song? Alexander O'Neal, Fake. You had brown eyes, but now they're blue. Those false eyelashes that you're wearing too. That's we talking about lies. Lies. Y'all know Johnny Taylor had a song. Johnny Taylor, blues singer, had a song called Running Out of Lies. Running Out of Lies.
He had done so much that he ain't had no more lies to tell. Okay, that's shady dealing. That's scheming.
That's shady.
Okay, now how you do so much you ain't even got enough lies to tell no more?
Can't conjure up one.
I'm telling you,
can't whip up one
because he had done so much. Y'all pull the song up. I know some of y'all out there know who Johnny Taylor is.
Yeah.
Pull the song up and listen to the song. There's something. Listen to it now. Okay.
Now who sung Cheating in the Next Room?
That's ZZ Hill.
Man, that's tough too.
It is.
You cheating in the next room.
In the next room. That you right. That way, if I know you cheating in the next room, I gotta be in
the other room knowing you cheating.
Come on.
That falls on the shady.
Ooh, it's a little warm under the lights, y'all.
That's on the shady.
All right.
You go way back.
Yes. All right.
Boy, I tell you, the lies and the game.
And the game.
All right, let's put out some of the typical lies that seem for some reason they just won't die.
Okay,
they just won't die. All right, here's one. I love those. And I don't know why. Whenever this happens, it's like it's one of the first things comes up. You get caught with somebody else.
Yeah.
Baby, that wasn't me. That
wasn't me.
It ain't what it looked like.
That's what it looked like.
What did it look like?
Yeah.
It ain't what it looked like.
And if you know it wasn't me, it has to be you to say it wasn't him. That is the famous one.
That is. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
But I was looking right at you.
Yeah, but it wasn't me.
But it wasn't me. And it was even a song too. Now I'm equating a lot of this experience to songs I done heard. And it was a song where the guy was like, he said, if you did not come up and touch me, it wasn't me. If you didn't come up and touch me, it wasn't me. So I mean, he's sticking to it. I don't care if our eyes, eye contact, and you know me. Unless you touch me, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I gotta have they say everybody got a twin.
Yeah. Come on now.
I'm gonna fall off one back. It's a little different direction, but girl, I remember when we went to go see Star Wars together. Honey, that wasn't me. Yes, it was.
Oh.
That must have been another one. Baby, that was you.
Oh.
I don't care what you said. That was you, baby. I know that was you. And you know, all the time, I messed up.
When you said it, you realize you messed up. Okay. That's just what you got, because you got one of these. And you know what that look mean when you get it. Y'all can't see it, Clark.
Yeah.
But you know what that look mean like. It wasn't me. So I ain't even got to say it wasn't me, because you look at me and you know it wasn't me. Okay.
So that's kind of like a lie and shady together. Now then after it all settles down, ain't nobody saying nothing.
Ain't nobody saying nothing.
And I know I ain't finna say nothing.
Nothing else.
And if it is, it's just, I love you.
Yeah. Come on, Jay. Give us some more. You gave us another. Give us another one. One of them lies that just won't die.
All right. One of them lies that just won't die. All right. You dialing the number.
Yeah.
And the person picks up.
Oh.
And you say the wrong name.
That's rough.
And so you play it off. You thinking about somebody else or whatever, but you say the wrong name. You actually dialing the right person, the right number, but you say the wrong name. You know what? I didn't mean to call you. I was trying to call somebody else.
Outright lie. And then he turned shady.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah. I mean, we just trying to give you something to think about. Lies and games in relationships. And I know, it's a new time, it's a new season. Lies and games don't change. It's just people done got more creative.
Yes.
With the lies and the game. They done got more creative, know. So that lets us know, you got to be up on your game just like they up on it, because see, they professional.
Oh yeah, they good.
They good. Yeah. They good at it. You got something. Now we just talking about, the lies that'll get you caught right then and there. But you got some people that's so good, they'll look you dead in the eye. Yeah. Facial expression will not change and tell you a lie. And you will be like, well, maybe. Okay. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. Now, we just talked about that. Yeah. Now, we were talking about a few minutes ago, some of the lies that don't change or they get you caught. And this is what I was thinking about. This one right here. If you talking to your mate, or whatever, and they don't have a hearing problem.
Right.
I'm talking, y'all can hear me clearly. They don't have a hearing problem. Right. And you turn around, and I turn around and I say to you, where you been? I'm looking at you and I'm hearing you, and you hear me, and I say, where you been? And you look me in the face and you go, huh? Okay, now wait a minute, right, you stalling. But then, I'm a little, so crazy now because I'll ask the question again as if you didn't hear me the first time. You understand where I'm going with this? Where you been? See, that didn't gave them enough time to say, okay, let me think of this real quick now. Okay. You know, so be careful of that. Be careful of that. If they don't have a hearing problem,
they heard you.
They heard you. Yeah. Okay, I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. I wanted to bounce off. I gotta bounce off with Jeffrey, what Jay just shared. And I want to direct this to the women, to the men, and what a woman to do. You're sitting on the sofa, and you with your man, and you go, "What you doing, boo?" You go, "What you doing, boo?" And he says, "Boo? Who is boo? Oh, you know I call you boo."
You done got out your...
You done got out
of your thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And you done call this man boo.
Yeah.
And he ain't never called him boo.
Yeah.
Never called him boo.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So he's saying, who's boo? Well, you know I call you boo. When did you ever call me boo other than right now? You know? And then there goes another one of them comebacks.
Be careful.
I love you. Nickname Shady and Lies in nickname. You forget that you ain't nicknamed your boyfriend boo.
Okay.
You ain't never called him boo. You call your one down the road boo.
Yeah.
You know, and that happens a lot.
It happens a lot. But see, the thing about a lie, if you're going to tell a lie, see, the thing about a lie is not going to ever stand. I don't care if you told it today and it catch up with you next week or a month later. Because, see, the thing about a lie is you don't never tell it the same way. You'll never tell it the same way. Okay. And if a person, your mate is smart, they will really see the thing about catching a lie and busting up game is that you really have to be attentive. You really gotta, pay attention to what's going on in your relationship and know your mate. A lie is not gonna stand. They're not gonna a lie. You can't tell a lie the same way and have it be effective the first time you told it.
No, it's not.
And so you got to be. And I was reminded of scene in one of Tyler Perry's movies. Or we started with the Tyler Perry movie, but in the Tyler Perry's movie, the character Marcus, every time he told a lie, he said, see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So they knew when he was telling the lie.
Yeah, it became repetition.
And they knew him. So when a person knows you. They be like, oh, you get ready to tell a lie right now. You ain't even open your mouth yet.
It reminds me of I've been in relationships when you come home and if your wife or your girlfriend says, honey, let's watch Lifetime. See, she been shady. That's one of them shows where it's all about the woman. Let's watch Lifetime. So the man sat there with his woman and he's all quiet and she sat there and look at that. You look at him. And if I say something, I'm in trouble. Because she's been shady. She's trying to get me. See, a woman can be playing games. So that would be shady and game. Then the guy comes.
Yeah, that's game.
Number one, when she asks you to watch Lifetime, you can't say no. You can't. Because then she's just going to come out and eat you up.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't thought about it.
I watch Lifetime with you, honey.
Okay. Don't say nothing, though.
Don't say nothing. And she go, and look at how he just did that woman. You better be quiet.
Busting up.
And then after be quiet, she gonna still get you. Oh, you ain't got nothing to say. And you go, you just lied. You do, you just afraid to. You're afraid to. Because she just set you up. She was shady. She just set you up.
Yeah, that game plan.
Game plan. Man, there's so many sisters out there that just, the games we play.
The games
we use movies, phones.
Right, absolutely. That's absolutely. Yeah. That's right. That's the truth. Wow. Okay. Game.
Like the games I used to play, I used to pretend that I was somebody. I was a thinker, inquisitive, and I write this female this awesome note, and it was a song that Barry White sung.
Okay.
And I don't think she's gonna figure it out.
Okay.
And she goes, this sounds like Barry White. No, that's me. I
don't even know. I don't even know.
Here's another one better. Okay. You think they don't listen to nobody like the Beatles, but they got a song out, right? And you just like, oh man, those some good words. You know, I'm gonna write it down. She ain't gonna never listen to nobody like the Beatles, right? Yeah. So she ain't gonna never listen to this kind of group. All right, they ain't even on style.
Yeah.
And all the time. This was your word, yeah. That was for me. I was just thinking about you like
thinking about you.
Okay.
Because I love you.
Because I love you. But I mean, seriously though, now we talking about, lies and gaming and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that, look, don't get me wrong, I'm not lying. Is is too troublesome. Mm-hmm. You got to deal with too much when you're in a relationship and you lying and trying to spin. Mm-hmm. It costs you too much. But let me just say this for the most part. If a woman, and Tyler Perry made mention of it in the clip, if a woman want to do whatever it is she want to do, and if she don't want to get caught, guess what? 9 times out of 10, she ain't gonna get caught.
She ain't gonna get caught. No.
She ain't. Yeah. If she wanted, she ain't gonna get caught. Okay. Now, am I promoting that? In no ways. No, I'm not. But 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying this all the time. If she on her game and she insisting on she ain't gonna get caught, she ain't gonna get caught.
And I can back you up in that. It's something that my grandmother told me years ago, and you're gonna love this. She said, "Son, when a man is sleeping, a woman is thinking."
Yeah.
That blew me away. I was like, what does she mean? Yep. And when I got old, I found out you can't outthink and outrest a woman. She said, why are you sleeping? That woman laying in bed looking at you like, She said,
yeah.
You wake up. Why are you looking at me, woman?
Yeah, that's right. Why are you looking at me like that? Yes.
And then here comes the lie. Nothing.
Yeah, no, baby, go back to sleep.
Go back to
Everything all right.
It ain't nothing.
Don't worry about it.
The whole time
they look at you, right? Oh, they be just thinking about you. Yeah, they might not be a lie, but they trying to make it what it ain't really is, right?
They're trying to make it a love.
Yeah, they actually thinking about you, but not the way they try to make you think.
Yeah. I had one time I was a whole lot younger, but I was dating this guy, and we were supposed to go out that weekend. He made the plans. Now I didn't make the plans. He had made the plans. We gonna go out this weekend, that type of thing. So when it got closer to the weekend, he couldn't. Okay. Yeah. That was what was told. It was, I can't, I'm sorry, I gotta cancel our weekend, that type of thing. I'm like, okay, all right, and the story he told me was like, if he had just said, I can't, I would have said okay, but he put something else with that, where I can't. This is why. We not gonna be able to. Well, I didn't let him know that I was still planning on going out anyway. Okay, I didn't know what he had planned. I was just gonna go out since me and him wasn't gonna go out. But guess what? Lo and behold, I'm at the club. He at the club. Okay, y'all hear what I'm saying? We just happen to be in. What's the chance of that? Us being in the same club. That night. So you can imagine when I saw him, I looked at him like this, and he was like,
like a deer.
And I didn't say nothing. I'm just like, I guess my eyes said, gotcha. But see, that's why you got to be careful. You got to be careful. But a lot of times you don't get a chance to just walk into stuff like that, and you have to find out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? And so in order to keep that from happening, just be attentive. You gotta, I ain't saying you gotta be, every time they move, where you going? Where you say you gonna be at? You say you gonna be with Charlene, and I ain't like that. I'm just saying, keep your eyes, keep your ears on, keep everything attentive, If they ways change and you know them, that's your man. If there's anything in it, if it change, you better check it. When I say check it, I'm talking about open your eyes.
Because another good one is, this is an awesome topic, and most of it, people are probably used it. That's why it's coming to. This is shady, and then here come the lie. Girl buy me a nice shirt, slacks, and I put them on one Saturday to go out. And my woman says, that's nice. When did you get that? Oh, you remember when you bought this for me?
No.
I did not. No, I did. Yes, you did. I just hadn't worn
it. Rick, no. Because you know we know what we value, right?
Right.
Okay, so how did... I'm just trying.
Honey, it was on my birthday.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I remember all your birthdays. I ain't bought that. I'm just talking.
And then I switch up. I just can't wear nothing you buy me. You question if I don't look good, and you question me if I don't look good. I'm going to just go take it off.
I'm like, you ain't got to. Let me help you. Let me help. I'm just, the lies and the games, y'all. See, it's too much. You got to deal with. I mean, it causes stress.
Yes.
Strain, heartache, headache. I was looking at a case the other night, and this probably don't. I don't know if it have anything to do with our topic, but I watched the first 48. I love that show, y'all. Yeah, but anyway, it was a case on there where the young woman, she was, and you could tell she was young. She wasn't old. She was young, but she had her and her boyfriend. Relationship was, kind of abusive. What she said, they never got any more than just shoving or pushing. Okay. But this particular night, they were arguing. He told her, look, I don't want to be with you no more. I don't want this. I don't want to be with you no more. So she was like, why you don't want to be with me? And I don't understand this type of stuff. And she got all emotional. And they started shoving and pushing each other. And she picked a knife up, a steak knife. And her story was that she poked at him. Like she just poked at him, slammed the knife down on the counter, and then took out running out the house. Well, when it all boiled up, is that not only did she poke him, she stabbed him. No, I mean, she stabbed him in his heart, and his body was dead before he hit the floor. But she didn't know she had killed him, because now we're talking about rage. In a fit of rage, she did this, but she didn't even know he was dead until they picked her up and brought her to the police station. And the officer told her then that not only did she cut him, but she killed him. And she was like, I cannot go to prison. I cannot do it. But what I'm saying, when you lies, scheming, and all of that stuff that go on, that kind of stuff can happen. And she didn't have a criminal record. There was nothing shady about her. She hadn't done any wrong. Her record was clean. But now she was getting ready to go to prison for the rest of her life for taking a life. Right. Yeah, and she did, and she really and genuinely did not mean to do it. But in a fit of rage, and you got something in your hand that could cause damage, that's what can happen. So while I'm talking, we talking about, and we doing it in and jokingly and fun, but it can go. It's very serious if you allow it to keep on. Yes.
If I keep lying about my clothes I wear. She ain't gonna take that too long.
No, because
either I'm gonna come on, my clothes gonna be burned up,
right,
cut up, or she gonna come at me with the clothes
absolutely.
on. So you gotta. There's a time you gotta say, you know what? I gotta quit playing these games.
Absolutely.
And quit being shady and stop lying to my girl.
Right.
Now I may not be able to tell her, honey, you was right. You never bought those, but I need to stop it.
Right then and there.
Yeah. So I'm not telling nobody to ever go and try to tell the truth, because that could be dangerous. That could be very dangerous.
Do you really
want to know what the truth is? Right.
But just stop.
Just stop it. Just stop. Now, especially if you planning on building a relationship with the person that you're with. And Tyler Perry made a good point in the clip. He said, if you tell a lie to the person that you with and you get caught in it, and what you run the risk of doing is that they not gonna ever believe anything that come out of your mouth. And that's kind of bad. And you talking about building a relationship with that person. They don't have any trust in you anymore. So you gotta warn, you gotta weigh that. You gotta weigh all of that stuff.
That's just as bad as not having a license. You don't feel like you're a citizen because you're driving illegal.
Yeah.
You go on with a female that you done been shady, lied, and she, like you said, can't trust you no more. How can you endure that? That's kind of, so that's why I say again, listeners, I love you. You ain't got to go tell the truth. Just stop.
Just stop. Absolutely.
Stop.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you coming back at me because we got this clause.
Right.
Jeff will read it to you a little later.
Yeah. Right.
That we have that we're not, we don't take responsibility for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he know the clause.
Right.
I may not say to get it out enough, but he knows.
He know it. Yeah, the disclaimer.
He'll put that disclaimer on in a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you, sister.
Yes.
Disclaimer, not a clause.
Yes.
But just stop.
Yeah.
But I think about just being untruthful and unfaithful. And I hope this is a part of it, because we got to have a little bit of a flip side. What can we do to strengthen ourselves to not to get caught up in those shady moments and lies, that where I can tell the truth? Sometimes we make it hard for each other to tell the truth to each other. And I just want to put that out there. We don't have to cover that, but I think the topic that we're on tonight is so very serious.
Yes.
You know, a lot of us, relationships ends too quick. We don't get to develop and grow because we think we are just on top of our game.
That's right. That's right. You said it right.
I think you started off explaining that, but you know, first of all, I have to realize I don't have a game.
Okay.
Jay can tell you that about me. I'm a nerd. I don't have a game.
You don't have a game.
I'm a trip my own self.
Okay.
I'm a nerd. So if I try to get a game, I'm
it ain't gonna work for you. It ain't gonna work for you.
Right.
That's right. Everything is not meant for everybody. And you can understand that what I'm saying. You know, so if you know you're not a person like that, because that's not in your heart to do, then you're not gonna let that be a part of who you are. You know, you just say, look, if I got to do all this, then maybe it ain't. You know,
but I did it. I'm not gonna lie. When I was young, I did it. But I try not to do it now. And if I do have to do it now, what's that TV show? If you need an action, you can make a call. You can make a call.
I'm trying to. I can't think of the name of the show.
If you don't know the answer, you can call somebody.
Say, is this your final answer?
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I think that we can do that now.
It's a lifeline.
The lifeline. So if you get caught up into your own shadiness and lie, you know, instead of digging yourself in a hole like you explained about the song, lied so much you couldn't lie no more. Make a telephone call. Call for some help.
Call for some help. Get some help. Get some help. Yeah.
Let me call my brother, Jay. I need you. This is what's going on.
That's right.
You got it, brother? Hand the phone over.
Absolutely. You know, that's a good point, Rick. You're right. Get some help.
We get caught up so deep in thinking we are so slick, you know. But like again, a woman, when we're sleeping, they're awake. They're discerning their thinking. You know? And we forget, guys, that they cook for us.
Come on, Red.
They make our Kool-Aid. All that I mean.
That's okay. Sister, come on now.
I'm just trying to be real.
Right. That's real. Keeping it real.
I love my girl Kool-Aid.
I know. Here, baby, drink this. All wine got a whole lot of arsenic in it.
Be careful,
okay? Be careful. Rick, you made a good point. Be careful. I'm telling you, a woman will cook your favorite meal. Okay? I'm talking about service you, man. That song catered to you.
Feel like a king.
Okay?
All because
that's why Jay cooks his
All because you lying and scheming. And she's saying like, yeah, baby, is it good? Go ahead, eat up. Got some stuff in store.
I made a lot.
Even know. For real, you don't even know. Be careful.
Y'all got some men saying, I think I need to be a little bit more independent.
Be careful.
I need to learn to cook for themselves.
Okay.
They said, now how you use this skillet?
It's the truth. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk. Yeah.
But a lot of the games, the schemes and the lies, I gotta give women a lot of credit to the men being for our stupidity. They kind of allow us to get there. Because it's like they accept some of the stupid things that we do and say. And guys, I'm sorry, I'm a man. We do some stupid things.
Come on.
And they kind of build us up too. And then we just think we all in that end. And she's over there thinking, you know who made you? I made you.
But that's an interesting point.
It is.
Good, interesting point. Now that you brought it up about, as you were saying, that probably one of the reasons, I'm not giving an excuse, but probably one of the reasons we just think of like children. You don't discipline a child, they'll eventually see, hey, I can get away with this.
That's right.
I'll get more unruly. I'll get more crazy. I'll get, I'll get more disrespectful because I can do it and nobody ain't stopping me.
Absolutely.
And the same thing, as you were saying, probably men are more and more like that because the women have didn't really put their foot down. They just kept taking it in and all that. So the mentality, I believe, over decades and years and centuries, develop more and more and instill this mindset, of a way of I say men's path, becoming more natural at it because the traditions was that hey, women they'll take it, they'll take it.
I think she even knows, but
until they just finally just can't take it no more.
Boom.
So, but and that bounces me back on you, Miss Debbie. Like what you were saying, that doesn't need to be going on because, one of the things I always be saying, tell yourself the truth.
Right.
Absolutely. Tell yourself the truth. And whenever you you make up an excuse for someone else's, what you see is not what you want or desire, and you make an excuse for it.
Right.
Actually, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
You're deceiving yourself. You're actually lying to your own self.
Absolutely.
And you're deceiving yourself. You're actually playing games with yourself. So lies come in all shapes. Don't necessarily have to come from the outside.
No.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, Jay, you got the flip side. There's a flip side to what you and Rick both were just made the comment on about how, women have allowed themselves to get to a certain point where they accept those lies, and then it progressively get worse and worse and worse. It's just like abuse. The man hits you one time and then say, oh, baby, I'm sorry. I promise you, I swear I ain't gonna ever do it again. He did it that first time. You said, okay, you ain't gonna do it no more. He said, I love you too. Then the next time and then it just get progressively worse. Well, in the opposite side to what Jay was just saying was that you have some women who don't, like you say, have drawn that line and you not gonna cross it. And that's it. And I promise y'all, to this day, I got a girlfriend, and I think she's still alone right now for this reason right here. Now, I'm not saying I think you can, of course, make your point, but don't overboard. And what I mean by that is that this 1 year she was dating this guy, and she had got pregnant by him, in which he was supposed to take care of the situation with her, and of course when it came down to it, he decided that he wasn't gonna take care of the situation. Well, now my girlfriend, have been knowing her for years. She's not that one you want to play with like that, because you got them women out there
like that
just don't, you don't want to play with them like that. And I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know because I was there. She came and got me in the dead of summertime with an army jacket on that was bolted down to the ground. I'm like, what you finna go and ride with me, Debbie? So I'm quiet on in the car with her, but I really wanted to see it go down, because I knew if she called me, something was going on, and it was gonna be good. I'm telling you, I was just like that, y'all. But anyway, she came and got me, and we went in front of this nice, beautiful house, manicured, lawn, windows everywhere. It had about 1 million windows in it. I've never seen a house with that many windows in my life. Wow. And she got out the car and went in her pockets of this army coat with baseball not softballs, baseballs. Y'all know baseballs, them hurls, and started throwing balls. I thought this girl pitched for the Detroit Tigers. She started throwing them baseballs. Just knocking windows out. Just knocking windows out. And I'm standing there like this in complete disbelief. I don't know why I was, because I knew her. She didn't play that. Yeah. And she, like, when I tell you every window, it was like she just walked around.
Broke every window. That's a lot of money.
Yes, I know. Every window. And I'm like, this girl is absolutely crazy. I was saying it, and like, she crazy, but everybody who deal with her, from family to friends, I know how she is. So now I know she told him, it never happened. This is with you. This what's gonna happen to you. Because she like, look, I'm not gonna play with you, and I don't want to play with me. What I'm gonna give you if you play with me, then don't do it. That's just how she was up front, and I respected her for that. But she was everybody. It wasn't just like certain people. It was everybody. And to this day, probably not nobody, but everybody that deal with her, you got to come correct with her, because she ain't playing with you. What I'm saying is that, and that's a good quality to have, ladies, is what I'm saying. That's a good quality to have, but not so, to that level. You can get your point across to where he know, oh, okay, I ain't with her like that. I can't run no. Think about it. I'm not saying do too much. If I, try to cross her or run game, tell these lies to her. So just back up and see what else I got. How else can I work it?
I admire her, and I admire that story because of two reasons. I thought you was going to say that she put guns out for baseball. Now, I can see the police coming up and down. Arrest her! Charge her! They go, for throwing baseball.
Okay.
I can see the police going, for what? What did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do? Okay, let her go. And the wife is probably saying, "Did that woman break up?" I don't know. Here come the lie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It wasn't a window left. It wasn't a window left. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. But that.
For being able to control her anger, just keep it at baseball.
Oh yeah.
Think about that.
Yes,
and you know her.
Yes.
Just keep it as baseball.
At baseball. You're right. You were. I'm telling Rick. I'm telling you, because this girl, and I love her. That's yeah. Wow. I mean, she can easily. It's from one extreme to either shoot you or throw something. I mean, she's like that. But yeah, it's something you can't play with like that. That episode of Thin Line Between. When Martin Lawrence was dating Liam Moody in there, and she was telling him, look, don't lie to me, I can't be hurt, and all this and all that, and he decided that, his game was more important than his woman's feelings, and you see where it got him. You have to be careful of stuff like that, because you don't know, especially now, I'm not saying the game or is any different or anything like that, but people's mindsets are different, a lot different now, and what I mean by that is that you used to have, like, I'm making the instance of my girlfriend and stuff like that, but people are under a whole lot of stress, strain, and stuff like that, and you really don't know where they coming from until they come out on you, and then it might be too late,
And see, I think I touched on every topic but games. When you elaborated further on that, the games we play when we go in and we tell another woman, oh, I don't have a girl. I ain't seeing nobody. And that girl takes my word instead of checking my word.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let me check your word first, and then the next time I see you, I may go out with you. So, could that be a two-way game? Because if she accepts that game without checking out the game, then she's participating in the game too. Because you just can't trust everybody that tells you, oh, I don't have another girl. Especially if I got a nice car and I look nice and I got a good job. You got to think you got to have something somewhere.
Yeah.
Why me? Why you pick me? You got to have something. So that game, it's I never got an opportunity to play that game because I didn't date that much, but I seen it done a lot, and I seen a lot of people. And believe it or not, I see more males cry in that game than females. A lot of females don't think males cry, but we get hurt too.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're in love with that woman, you find out all the time she has somebody else. Man, we cry deep. Shame, embarrassment, brotherhood stripped away. Don't want to be around your friends anymore because you think they know. You know, so I mean them games. You know, I don't have nobody. All these men that take the wedding band off.
Oh, see, that was another show we did. You wasn't here for that one.
I was not calling.
That was good. You weren't here for that. You gonna have to do a part 2, Jay.
That's shady.
It is shady. And that's it. Look, that's shady number 1. Check. Number 1, star, asterisk, all that next to it. Okay.
Like you said,
for y'all that married, look. Put your wedding bands on.
Put them on. Don't be shady.
Don't be shady.
Yep. Don't be shady.
See, Rick, that's right. That's right. That's it right there.
See, I told I was married. Well, honey, you ain't got your wedding band.
Right. Yes. Okay.
I was playing football.
Okay, look, let me tell you something. Now see, y'all open this up. Okay, I'm about to tell my brother. If you listening, you know who you are, Deacon. Okay. So funny, true story. This morning, came to get him for church. Okay, he came out the house all polished, everything. I'm like, go ahead, boy, looking good. You know, got around the corner from his house. He said, "Oh, wait a minute, Dad. Wait a minute. Hold up. I forgot my wedding band. It's on the table. I gotta go." I said, "What?" He said, "I gotta go." He's like, "If that woman come downstairs and see my band on the table, made me go back, carry him back to the house." Y'all hear I say care, not carry. Right. Okay, him back to the house to get his wedding band. Right. I ain't mad. I'm not. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
And that don't make you weak.
Absolutely.
That makes you strong.
Absolutely.
That makes you strong.
Absolutely. Yes. You know, so I mean, you know, we just talking about what we talk about. You know, games. And if you married, let's just go here for a minute. If you married, okay, whatever it is, whatever your marriage is, you married to that woman or to that man. Stop it. Let's come on. Because see, people done got killed behind stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's a dangerous game to be played. We talking about games. It's dangerous. The definition, shady schemes.
Yeah, shady schemes.
And you know, every time you speak, Sister Debbie, you bring things to me that I've experienced, I know. And I done got caught up in it. Man, my woman don't tell me what to do. I run my house. What you talking about, man? I'm it. And all of a sudden I get a tap on the shoulder. Hey, hi, honey. Hey, baby. Yeah. I'm coming. Yeah. I'm coming. And the dude go, I thought you one thing. I do one thing, but I gotta go. Gang, telling your partners that you run things, knowing that woman run that house. Man, she don't run the house. I'm just going because I want to go. Them gays, this shady, boisterous. You know, I run things. Get that tap on the shoulder. Oh, hi, honey.
Yeah.
What you talking about, baby? Nothing, baby. I'm coming. Trying to get her. Go, baby. Go. Gay, shady, and live.
Shady and live.
Yeah, that's a great topic.
Yeah, it is.
Great topic, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
But do you think all three of them have to be in effect to be powerful, or just one could be just as powerful as all three of them together?
I think you got all three of them working for you. You better just, be on it. If you got all three of them working for you, you better be on it all the time. And there's no way you can do that because you got to sleep.
You got to.
Okay, you can't be thinking of how to be shady 24/7. Okay,
live like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Absolutely, okay. Absolutely right.
For Freddy.
Never go to sleep again. That's the only way. So,
we got some Freddy's out there, some Kruegers. Man, that's scary.
Yeah, that's scary, boy. You don't even want to blink.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? I mean, even at that, I mean, if you're at that status, why would you stay at that status? I mean, if you're at that status, you know, you can't sleep because of where you done messed up, and then the other person, who's running around mad, angry, can't trust you, you know, pointing the finger at you, and I mean, you can't. I mean, I was watching Divorce Court the other day, and they had this couple. I mean, you know, a lot of things you be watching on these court shows, they be hilarious, but it's serious. It really is serious.
It really is. Those people for real.
Yeah, it's for real. So, it was, you know, this guy, and they had a movie about that's out. It's called Insecure. The letter N dash secure. Insecure. But this guy was portraying himself just like the actor in the movie, because he had caught his wife cheating way at the beginning of the marriage. Okay, so now he was just like pressing her. You don't answer the phone in 1 minute. Where are you at? What you been doing? Who you with? Well, blah blah blah. I mean, you know, he
could have a nervous breakdown.
And I mean, you don't answer in 1 minute, you must be doing something. You must be with somebody. And like the judge was telling him, you know, lady, I mean, it takes 5 minutes to get down in the pocket.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
And
that's the truth.
You know, and so, you know, you build that person with no trust, build themselves up to that point. You know, that's why we see so many domestic disputes and cases going on, because it's on both sides of the fence. You know, the one who lied and the one who's dealing with the lie. But the thing about it, they lying too, because they lying to themselves. Lying to themselves. So, you know, and I look at the whole scope. We do too much. I think we do too much pointing the finger at the other person and don't do enough self-evaluation of our own self, because you know, there, and I'm gonna get to it before we close, but the biggest lie that's ever told is the lie to yourself. Because see, nobody can take advantage of you unless you allow. You know,
that's right.
You know, now if they, you know, like you were saying, Brother Ricky, you know, men have continuously, you know, kind of like their nature. But women, I gotta say this, you know, if you have seen a pattern of deception, how henpecking and going after them and complaining is not going to change them, because I'm not saying a person can't change, but you can't change them. The person has to change themselves. So all you can do is make a decision about your placement as to where you place yourself in the vicinity and environment of the person who you're claiming or seeing that's untrustworthy. You know, so you know, if you're keeping yourself in that position, if with the person who you see as a pattern of and presents not to be trusted, or deceiving or deceptive, then the blame is really on you.
Absolutely.
You know, the blame is really on you. And the you know, to say, now I'm not saying this is a lie. I say it's actually unsecured, not insecure, unsecured hope. I say unsecured hope, unsecured hope, because you'll be like, well, because I love him and everything, you know, I'm gonna give him time. He gonna change. Because he see I love him and I'm right here for him and I'm doing all this, so he gonna change. All right, just because you want him to change, don't mean they're gonna change. Just because you could buy them 10 Bentleys, don't mean that they gotta change.
Right.
Now they might play the game a little better,
right?
Because they know they're gonna get it. They know they're gonna get a bet.
That's right.
But they're not gonna change.
Yeah,
all right.
That's right. That's
I never say a person can't change. Person can change.
Yeah.
But when we start looking at that and start putting a time and a date or span of amount of time as to when a person should, here's the key words we mislead ourselves: should, oughta, could be, would be, can be. Those are words of unsecured hope, because you don't know if and when it's going to happen. Right. So you might die and pass on waiting for them to change.
Yeah.
And you have wasted your life.
Yes, that's right.
That's what I'm saying. You have wasted your life.
Yes.
All right?
That's it.
Waiting for a change. You only got one life.
That's right.
All right.
You only got one.
All right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times we put hope in the wrong way in people. Now, I could hope for a lot of things for a lot of people, and pray for a lot of things for a bunch of people. But the choice is theirs, because if it wasn't theirs, then that means that then God is a lie, that we don't have free will to make a choice. So the choice is theirs. And it's nobody else's. It's theirs.
Yeah.
And we say, those that believe in God say God is not mocked, he's not a lie. So if he's not a lie, then the choice is theirs.
And Jay, you made a good point, and one of the things I was thinking about when you were just making that statement that you made is that the other side to that is that if the woman, because most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, I'm saying most of the time it's women that stay there and they cover, put the blinders on. Oh, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, it's not that, and they stay in that. And at that particular time when you finally get to the point to where you done had enough, and you just say, this is it, you walk away from the relationship. Okay. And then the other side to that is that if you stay in it for a long period of time, this is what's going to happen. You meet somebody else. Okay. This person, be it a male or a female, could be a genuine person. True. I mean, genuine. No, not trying to run no games on you, nothing like that. But because you got so much baggage from the other relationship, you bring that into this one, into this relationship with the person that's trying to, not do all that, because now mind you, because as women, we talkers, a lot of us. I mean, if you like me, I like to talk, I like to conversate, So I done told you, Rick, about what didn't happen in my prior relationship. So you already know. Okay.
I got you.
So you know what I'm saying.
Told me.
Okay. So you know what I'm saying. So now after a while, you gonna start saying, okay, now why you always accusing me when I'm not, I'm 5 minutes, from being, I said I was coming over here, I'm 10 minutes late or something, why is it? But now you got to remember, now she done already told me what happened in the part. You got to be careful of that, because see, then you can run away somebody that could be genuine because of the hang-ups that you have from your other relationship. And why? Because you stayed in it too long.
Remember we was doing a show, Jeffrey, and we had a lady to call in, young lady. Yeah. She wanted to talk to Sister Soldier about a man bringing slaves into the relationship.
Right, yeah.
And that was an awesome conversation. The man brought the a spirit of slavery with him into their relationship. I guess apparently he was enslaved to the woman. The woman was in control, and he brought that mentality into her relationship. How do you deal with that? How do you overcome that? And it was kind of like what you said. A lot of times we bring lies in, we bring shadiness in, we bring games in. Then how do you deal with the games you let be brought into your relationship? And how do we spot them?
Right.
How do we spot them? And I think that's easy to say it is. And Brother Jay answered this question to me months and months ago, probably sometime last year. Is in a relationship, even if you start one or you've been in one, you already know before you get ready to get out the relationship that the relationship is no good for you.
Absolutely.
So why stay in it? You already spiritually out of it. You know, but you stand in it because you worry about what the neighbors gonna say, what the people in the church gonna say. You know, but you've been out of a relationship 2 years ago.
Yeah. You just on paper.
You just on paper holding on, waiting for a disaster to come along, a tornado.
Some people ain't even on paper. Right.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? They're not even married.
Not even married.
That's true. And still stuck.
It's still stuck. Right? Yeah.
Isn't? I mean, yes.
Amazing.
Still stuck.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I tell you, it even gets deeper than that. Come on, ladies. It's very seldom you hear men looking for somebody else's wife to leave their husband to be with them. Come on, ladies. All right, you ladies that is with a married man.
Yeah, that's right.
And he done told you, if you think I'm going to tell you what you're really saying to yourself. What you're really saying to yourself and everybody else who knows of your status and the man, the married man that you quote unquote say you love. What you're saying to everybody outside of yourself is that you're not even worth
it.
You're not even worth it. Because watch this. If we hear, I mean, we can watch a movie. I'm sorry.
Come on, Jay.
We can watch movies, and we'll sit there. And movies, yes, it's Hollywood, but a lot of stuff is based upon real life issues. Okay, all right. You know, now when you talk about the sci-fi and stuff, I mean that's really imaginary. But with the drama movies and stuff like that, they're based upon really real lifetime issues. Okay, so and when we'll sit there and see, you know, a movie or a soap opera or something, and this woman's messing with a married man. He keeps complaining about his wife is tired of, and keep telling his mistress, you know, I'm gonna leave her. I'm gonna leave her. You know, it's just gonna be me and you. And you're sitting there watching it. What, you know, and you got the audacity to ask him. I thought you said you're gonna leave her. You're gonna leave her. I'm getting tired of waiting. Come on now, listen to what you say. But when we watch the movie and we see this, you be like, "Girl, what's wrong with you?"
That's right.
And you turn around and do the same thing.
That's good,
right? And you know, I'm just giving a scenario.
That's true.
But we do this in a whole lot of situations. I mean, it ain't got to be that one, but we do a whole. So what is that? Lying to yourself. All right. So I mean, we do that a lot.
Well, you know, Jay, I mean, you know, and we're talking about, you know, real life scenarios, because there are people who have lived situations like that. But it reminded me of the movie that I watched a few days ago, A Family That Prays, which is a Tyler Perry movie starring Kathy Bates and Sanaa Lathan, I think. But anyway, Sanaa Lathan was having an affair with her boss, when she was married and he was married. She was having an affair with her boss, which was a Caucasian man, you know, and their company was old money, you know, so they had it going on. So she was having an affair with him, and she was, you know, just, you know, he gonna leave his wife and all this and all that. And then when it come down to it, he had gotten fired because Kathy Bates' mother, you know, he was trying to overthrow her position from the company, but she ended up doing it to him. And not only that, she fired him, kicked him out. You know, so as Sanaa Lathan was like, you know, because they had been dating for a long time, you know, so she was like, well, you know, he's like, I lost my job, I done lost everything, I ain't got nothing. So she had acquired all of this money through working in the company, you know. So she was like, oh baby, don't worry about it. We'll start our own company, you know, this, that, and other. He was like, no, like, we ain't finna start nothing. It's over.
It's over.
It's done.
It's done with.
It's over, you know. And so she was like, well, I mean, if you could see the look on her face, I mean, I thought that was,
that
one
was
of the
sad.
best acting. I mean, because she genuinely was like, what are you talking about? What are you saying to me? He was like, it's over. We done. And so she was like, you can't mean this. You can't. You can't mean what you saying to me. Now her mother had just told her prior, he's not gonna leave. He's not gonna leave his wife.
You crazy?
That's what she said. She was like, are you blind? He's not gonna leave his wife. And then the baby that she had her husband thinking that it was his baby, but she told him in the scene where she finally got enough. I'm gonna be a Cartwright. So she told her husband because she had been just dogging him. I mean, killed his self-esteem, manhood, and everything. And so he was like, well, what about our baby? She was like, my baby is a Cartwright, which is the guy that she was, messing around with. And he slapped her so hard, it seemed like I failed it. For real.
I got mad.
What I'm saying? But we talking about, and she was devastated. I mean, broke her down because her husband ended up taking all of the money because guess what? They married and what's his is hers and what's hers is his. So he took the money, started his company. She had nothing. She was living in a storefront building with her son, which was a Cartwright of the man that didn't want her anymore. And then the wife confronted her in the movie and was like, stay away from my family. And not all for what? I mean, really, is it worth it, ladies? And I'm saying ladies because Jay made a good point as a, women, I ain't saying men don't do it. I'm just saying women have a tendency, you see this man, you want him, you would do whatever it takes to get him, you will put up with whatever it takes to keep him, and you go through situations and issues like that, and then we're just talking about the niceness of it, you happen to just walk away, but people have died behind things like this, so.
But in another terms, the same scenario, and I want to speak to the black women, the white women that think they're black, and I'm serious, that date these dealers, drug dealers, big time poppers, riding these nice cars. You let them fear you, dress you up, let you be all fine, let you drive their car, hook you up with about 4 or 5 kids, and drop you like a dime. What man you think wants you with 4 or 5 kids? Drop you like a dime. And I know you got to see it because the life you living with that man is fast and furious. Then all of a sudden he put the brakes on and you stuck still in the project. He don't even take you out the project, ladies. He's living over in and I know I'm listen to me. I lived in South Nashville. I had brothers that had houses and nice apartments in South Nashville dating you, black women, and white women thought you was black in the project. If he loved you, he would have moved you out South Nashville. And when he dropped you, he leaves you right in South Nashville. Come on. Don't fall for that game. Make sure that you pull the shades up. And don't fall for the lie. Because I love my sisters. Even you white women that think you sisters. Because you got a true heart. But come on, you got to see the game. Sister Debbie, they got to see the game.
Absolutely.
And man, stop it.
And you know what? Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Brother Rick. Now, I'm telling you, now it's not even covered up. They don't even try to hide it.
No, it's open.
I mean, because women are have lowered the bar so much.
No.
The brother will tell you, you ask him, you got a woman? Yeah, I got a woman. I got 2, 3, and and you ain't gonna be no different. We gonna do it like this. We gonna kick it. This how we gonna do it. We'll tell you. This how they gonna do it. Now my thing about this, do I advocate it? No, I'm not. But I respect it.
Yes.
I respect that. Because if he can tell you, this is what you gonna get. You ain't no different from the other ones I got. This is what you gonna get with me.
This is what you gonna get. No better.
No, right. It ain't. He ain't lying to you. He done told you up front. Now, if you still walk off into that, knowing that's what, I'm gonna change him, or I'm gonna be different. Okay, ma'am.
It ain't no change.
Okay.
The only thing change a young man like that, and I'm gonna present y'all with this tone of I guess, example of manhood. You young men that falls into this model of manhood. Ladies, the only thing that's going to change that man is him hearing them cell bars close on him. And then that don't change. That just get him out of our society. Don't change him. He still, like Brother Jay said, it still doesn't change him. He just locked up where you don't see it. Because I seen him get right out of jail. My daughter, prime example. I said, honey, why do you always date thugs? Man, they're no good. Then call them while they're in jail. They're not going to change, but I love it. I love it. And as a father, I love my daughter. Absolutely. I can only go so much as chastising and talking that it doesn't break up my relationship with my daughter. Man, I want you to listen to me out there. That I don't break up my relationship with my daughter because of your games, you being shady, and your lies. Now, me as a father, I gotta still love my daughter while she fall for all those things with you. And for some reason, you done put a hook in her so deep, I can't even reach her.
But you know what?
Because of games, shadiness, and lies.
But you know what, Brother Rick? I'm just gonna say this. I mean, coming from the opposite side of that spectrum, because you've been just so instrumental in your daughter's life.
I love it.
And I really do believe this 100%, that as a father, if a young man, whatever he's trying to do, if you come to him and you step to him as a father and say, look, I see you. Okay, I want you to know I see you, But if this happened to my baby girl, this, that, and other, he ain't gonna say he ain't gonna do it, but he'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you talking real talk, man to man. I'm letting you know I recognize your game. I see you. But brother, if my daughter get hurt behind this in any kind of way, you're gonna have to see me. Okay. So now that could be a deterrent.
I'll let you step in, Jeff, because I want to do a follow. I have done that, and I think that's the only thing that saves my daughter, because I would tell anybody, I'm a man of God. But you mess with my kids.
Absolutely.
And the woman I love.
Absolutely.
Then I'm out to pray. I'm out to pray. But I'm coming while I'm praying.
Okay.
And I tell them, you make my daughter cry. You use the B word on my child. Mister, I'm coming for you. So far, the last 10 to 15 years, she ain't came back and cried, said the B word.
Okay.
And they hadn't hit her, put their hands on her. But they do things like, honey, where your car? He's got it.
Yeah.
Well, do we have an apartment? He's living with me. They still do those little things that I can't get mad to go do nothing. Come on, do something better.
Right, do something better. Yeah, I get you.
So, they still kind of win with those games and shadiness and lying. But I'm sorry, Brother Jay. You follow up.
I see a whole lot of that, and I counsel with a lot of people in youth also. One of the things I'm realizing in society today is, like they say, you can take the thug, the thug out of the ghetto, but you can't. That doesn't mean you took the ghetto out of the thug. Okay? Right. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good. All right, that's true.
All right. And now in saying that, I believe it's just really quite a lot. I mean, you could go in and remove folks, and I'm not saying about your daughter, but I'm saying I've seen other women, including men. All right. I tell you, I was guilty for seemingly remarrying the same
that you did before. The same time.
That kind of woman I really didn't want. The arguing and the fighting and all that, and just the drama. And and though I went through the divorce and got away, I still wound up, all right, with seemingly the same kind of character, right? All right. Though, unless the person themselves make a change, that's why you see repeated acts like, these young girls, not even just young girls, older
These
women.
older women doing
I see older women in the 50s and still in their 60s. I've seen it.
Some
60s hooking up with no good guys. No matter what the age was. No good people repetitively. Okay? And you know, and the thing of it is, until they come to that person, the individual comes to the state of change in their choices, and then it's not going to change. Yeah, you might get rid of Billy Joe, you know, and scare him away, but she gonna run to Danny Boy, Tyrone, you know, they just waiting in line. They just waiting in line. So I'm just saying, you know, so until the individual has actually made the change, yet, you know, you just keeping your gun loaded and creating, you know, and just digging up and just making burial sites, you know what I'm saying? All right. And so you know, until, like I said, the only thing we have is a freedom of choice. We're responsible for our choices. You know, and I was told that you know, so I do say quite often, you know, like a woman getting beat, you know, you know, and asking the question, you know you don't want to be there. And but yet you stay in that violent, you don't want to be hit. That's not what you want. That's not what you desire. You're totally against it. You know, you don't want to be seen with no black eyes, you know, busted jaw and all that. All right. Nobody likes to be feeling like that. Okay. But you're still there. And I was told that that I was too harsh by making the statement that, you know, the person has to come to the point where they make a choice to leave. Now, I love the movie enough that with Jennifer Lopez. I really adore that movie. I know every case is not the same. It's not the case. I know that. That, you know, there are some variances. But really, when it comes down to here's some hard, harsh truth, folks. Sometimes we just need to hear hard truth.
That's right. That's right.
And, you know, no matter what, anybody else can do, will do, or, you know, come to your aid until you decide. That if you're in that bad relationship, you decide you want to get out of it. That's right. You will get out of it. You will get out of it.
Right.
Even
absolutely.
You'll get out of it. Because it's been many cases where people have gotten out of those situations.
Survived and doing good.
Have gotten out. You know, but then we come back to, well, you're going to carry that baggage. You know, you know, and like I said, you don't really never know a person 100%.
That's right.
That's true too.
Never know a person 100%.
You want to, you wish you could.
You wish you could.
But you know, we have devised some good examples of how to get to know a person. You know, you know, Valentine's is coming up. Oh, do we have a treat for y'all on Valentine's?
All right, now.
I want to be on that. That's gonna be a good one.
But you know, Valentine's coming up. It's gonna be so many more women. Okay, that's gonna be like, oh, he got me some flowers. Oh, you know, he's taking me out to eat. But you ain't gonna see that till next year, till the next following year again. And I'm, you know, and I'm like saying, you know, why so? That's, you know, things that are common are really not things to be so impressed about. Things that happen uncommonly are really the things to be impressed about. You know, Think about that, folks. Really think about it. All right. I mean, you're only getting things on your birthday.
Right.
These are common days.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
common days.
Yeah.
Your birthday, Valentine's Day, or even Christmas.
Yeah.
These are common days.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
These are days, like everybody does it. It's not like it's a special. It's not. You really think about it, folks. I mean, really think about it. All right. Oh, he made me feel so special because he got me something on Valentine's Day. I'm special.
Valentine's Day,
okay,
right.
Come on, folks. Now, really think about it. Think about it. I'm just planning some things to think about. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Allah, you gonna be special with 50 million other women.
Every woman on that day.
Every woman on that day is special.
Every woman on that day is special.
Right. That's why you can't find no more little teddy bears with the hearts on them. All the candy gone. You know.
Right. Because every woman, seemingly almost on the whole world.
That's right.
And Brother Jay, I find all those teddy bears when I go to Goodwill.
Okay.
You can't keep them all in your house.
Right. You can't keep them out, right?
They're giving them away. But you special. I had to go out and to Goodwill. I had so many of them. They couldn't feed me. They couldn't clean the house.
That's right, Rick.
Yeah,
that's right. Tell the truth now. Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying
That's real talk.
It's not. Don't enjoy the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoy the day. But be careful how you plant it in your head as to the value of your day to that person. Yeah. All right, because we make that big mistake about that. All right. I guess I get around to it. There's that thing I wrote some time ago called The Biggest Lie Ever Told. So we're talking about the lies, busting them up and everything. All right. All right, listen to this, folks. Listen to this, folks. All right. The biggest lie ever told. All right. It goes like this. As I listen to the voices of what people say, like I can't stand a liar. And I hate a lie being told to me. Or do we say that one? All right. However, what reality has guided my eyes to see is nothing else but the difference. The truth is that it's not the lies that people tell that hurt us as we have been transformed to think, and it's not the deceptive manipulations that sneak up against us when our minds are not awake. Nor is it the myths that have no evidence or proof, like you were saying, you want the proof. Right. No evidence or proof that we find so easily and readily to believe, just because I say it, you ain't gonna check it, all right? Okay? All right. So readily to believe the sweet nothings and the sugar coatings that we so desire to be told. Oh, I would love to be told something. All right. Fall short from the tree whose lips utter words that strokes towards a downward bliss. It seems as though the truth of things is that we put so much energy on focusing on the lie, that the lie becomes absorbed to function and control our patterns of thinking. That lie that disgusts us so very much seemingly has found a way to be accepted in our lives. And we make decisions for our next day and future status because of the infection, the lie. Like in a couple relationship, we see signs of dislike character in the person, but tell ourselves that's not actually the way it is. And then when when it comes to family associations, we are so ready to fight everybody for committing the same wrongdoing that we have done to the family. I could call somebody in my family a P word, but nobody else, right? All right. All right. And when it comes to gender classifications and the gay rights movement, we have adopted so easily the excuse and lie when said, I was born this way.
Right. Yeah.
When the genitals that lay between your legs say differently.
It does. They right there.
Okay. I was born this way, but you got something else between your legs, right? Okay. All right. Because we know the truth from the historic Bible that God made male genitals for female genitals, okay? And female genitals for male genitals, okay? And you know, like when it comes to politics, how we see the truth of how Republican Party has done America a great injustice. All right? I'm not siding with anybody. I'm just saying we have seen the truth of how the Republican Party has done America a great injustice, such as shut it down the government and hurt people just because they having tantrums. All right? Okay. All right. All right. And when they have played dirty political games and shut down the government to satisfy their tantrums and then tell lies, and more lies that have no place in the American voice for the people of the USA. And yet, as the Constitution says that everyone, red, black, white, or whatever color you are, that all creeds be treated fair and equal, is far, far from the truth. Because all creeds are not created equal, okay? However, there are some that will say that the Republican way is the right way. Really? And you know, like when it comes to religion and denominations, how can there be so many churches and religious organizations but won't assist the other on the same cause and will boldly say that we are all one body? You know, they won't even visit each other.
They won't.
You can find a church almost on every corner.
That's true.
But we're one body.
But we're one body. Boldly say it. The truth is that it's neither the lie nor the liars that we hate so much, nor the deceptions, nor the manipulations, nor misleading info, nor the sweet nothings that we dislike or hate. But honestly, the real deep truth is that it's ourselves. It's self. Why is this? Warning. I'm going to warn y'all. If you really want honesty, then you better brace yourself, all right? Plant your feet solid on the floor, because here it comes. All right. If we accept anything that is other than the hard truth or solid proven facts, then we have deceived ourselves. For no one can deceive you unless you allow them to. If you say that you're intelligent and smart, then of course you're saying that you're not ignorant or a fool. Or are you? You see, as I see it, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, nor liberal, nor conservative. I'm voting for peace, tranquility, and happy organized society for the benefit of all people. Whoever they're going to take. All right? Right. You see, the truth is that we're all in the USA together, no matter what your creed or wealth status is. The profound injustice at someone's door will sooner or later indwell injustice at front doors in unimaginable areas. So then having a selfish attitude to get me mine is also a lie that we have consumed in our lives. And if we vote to elect those to office to represent our voice to serve us, the people of the United States, in the same way many choose their mate to be in a relationship. You know how that goes. All right. Then expect that our great country will cease to grow and continue to spiral downhill. And I think that's the way we've been voting on candidates too.
Yeah.
All right. Same way we pick folks to be in our relationships, right? Right.
Yeah.
You know, with no observation, telling ourselves lies about them. You know, all that stuff. So so yeah, let me go roll on. Okay. Why compare politics to relationships? Why did I do that? Why statistics say that at least 60% of love relationships, that's dating to marriage, break off after at least one has said, I made a bad choice. It's becoming an ever-growing domino effect. Why do we see the lie? Then add we see the lie.
Right.
Why do we see the lie? When we see the lie, then we add it as an ingredient in the mix of our lives, bake and cook it with the false expectation that it would somehow turn out to be different. If anybody ever made a cake or something like that, you have to have certain ingredients. So you miss putting some certain ingredients that it actually needs, and you think the cake gonna come out all right. You're deceiving yourself. That's what it kind of like saying. All right. But some people have not realized that there are ingredients that bring about unpleasant results. Here's what a chef does. A chef studies and knows every ingredient to the point that they know, and not assuming they know, the effect each ingredient will have in their mix. That's a good chef. I mean, they know exact. I mean, they ain't looking.
Assuming.
They know, what this particular ingredient, what it would do, how to change. Okay, all right. Accepting a known bad ingredient that can surely ruin or crash a good taste is a no-no for a chef. Okay, all right, for a chef. All right. If we choose because of popularity, wealth being stroked, good looks, personal material possessions, fame, sweet words that haven't been checked out or proven before we take them into our lives, whether relationships or political, and accepting what we are not sure of, would edify this statement. We were not honest with ourselves about what is acceptable. See, we accept folk in our lives, and we see it. We see it's a bad ingredient, but we still gonna take it. Right? We weren't honest with ourselves. So, but the effort to achieve this has less to do with classification, but rather the truth and provability. All right, about the candidate that I accept. So to be able to have a peaceful, happy, tranquil, and enjoyable life is to be honest with myself and yourself in everything. And remember, any contact you have with another person connects you to a relationship of some kind, whether marriage, couples, dating, school, crime, family and friends, church membership relationship, job and business, related in-laws, political, sex, and sexual situation, divorce and separation, spiritual and religious relations, and the list goes on. And if you think that doesn't mean that there is some kind of relationship, and when you connect with folks, then that's a lie. Now, can you handle this truth?
That's a mouthful of truth.
A mouthful.
But all of it is true, Brother Chad.
Yes,
we see it, we know it, but we still allow
to
accept something that's not comfortable in our lives.
Right.
So look, my last point is this. The man in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror. That song by Michael Jackson.
Right.
Man in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, who are you looking at? Right. Be true to that person. Be true to that person.
Right.
So Debbie, I'm gonna end mine and coming off yours, and it may not be what we're looking at, but Michael Jackson did sing "Look at the Man in the Mirror," and based off that, is Michael Jackson really dead? Gay?
Mm. Mm.
Shady and lies.
Yeah.
Is Michael Jackson really there?
All right.
Well, you asking me first. I don't know.
I want the audience.
Right.
Everything that was said.
That's like saying
that
yeah, right.
the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tupac dead. Biggie.
It's Michael Jackson.
Okay.
It's Michael Jackson dead. And I based that question. I based that question because at the funeral, Janet and all his family was laughing because the world was mourning for someone that they knew was not dead. And I could not, at least, I'll stop there.
All right. Well,
that's shocking. I kind of twisted. I'm sorry.
All right.
But you did it, Sister Debbie. I've been feeding off you all night.
You caught me with that one. Right. I walked into that. Okay.
Well. All right. All right. Well, here, folks. Here we were busting up the lies.
It's your fault.
That's my fault.
Busting up the lies.
Okay.
And the game.
I don't even know where that come from. But it came, and I had to. I don't know where it come from.
All right, folks. Well, we'll see everybody back here.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. Next week, y'all tune in. All right. I was thinking somebody was going to call it. I wanted to hear somebody else.
That was such a great time.
All right.
Yes, it was.
Man,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We out of here.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Shade.